Hey everybody, welcome to the Artzydude channel where creativity is more important than knowledge, but the acquisition of knowledge, it's an art form in and of itself for sure. Hey, thanks for tuning in on this short video on a Tuesday in the art studio somewhere here in America. Frank and I are hanging out today. He's actually hanging out, you know what I mean? And we're just thinking about some theories that Ryan at Post-Disclosure World, in other words, he's otherwise known as UFO Jesus. He's got better special effects than I do. I'm pretty basic here. But anyways, Ryan at Post-Disclosure World, check him out. He's got 5 stages. He posits 5 stages of alien contact or alien disclosure. What's going to happen in 5 stages? So he says in a couple of them about how the governments of the world will start to work together to get ready for first contact, for them to come down in their ships and things of that sort, and they'll control the networks and all of the public relations work that goes around that scenario with regard to the aliens making public contact. I'll call it second contact because we know first contact's already happened a long time ago. Now, I agree with his posits, I agree with his theories, but I have a few of my own. In some cases, and again, that's where I've come out in some of my past videos, and I've talked about the public taking it into their hands. Instead of waiting for the government to disclose and say, whoops, we've been lying all these years, I'm sorry, we're so sorry, we've been lying for 70 years, there's aliens, there's lots of them out there. Well, instead of waiting for them, why not have the public in small groups start consciously asking the aliens, hey, come on down to dinner. And I've talked about this before. Invite them down. Make sure that you let them know that your home is a safe place and you just want to make friends with them. Can you imagine, like I said, if it's in the people's hands and the aliens come down and they start meeting with people and it's starting to be filmed and uploaded to the internet and it's on the news, what are the governments going to do? Oh, they're going to have to actually think instead of lie. Yeah, think instead of lie. So, I really like Ryan's his theories. I love his channel. You got to check him out. UFO Jesus. Yeah, he's the man. Actually, he looks like a young Robert De Niro to me, in one of those early Taxi movies or something like that, or in The Deer Hunter when he grew a beard. He's kind of like that. He's a cool dude. Check him out, man. He's got a lot of followers out there, and I can see why. Anyways, the other thing about the alien connectivity, the disclosure and the things about all around disclosure is, I think about how they would act on their world and in some of the scenarios that happen in our world. For instance, in a natural disaster. Do you remember the Fukushima incident in Japan where the nuclear power plant melted down? Well, they showed on the news after that so many different Japanese groups of people, hundreds of people standing in line for water. Just very civil, very respectful, nobody cutting in line, nobody, being disrespectful. And then you juxtapose that with what goes on in our country when there's a natural disaster and you see people running out of, Circuit City or Best Buy with, TVs over their head, or they're looting tennis shoe stores, stealing left and right, instead of standing in line and being respectful and helping out your neighbor. What's wrong with our world? Can you imagine on an alien world with an alien civilization that's 10,000 years more advanced than we are, and a natural disaster happens? I just can't imagine them acting the way we do. They probably are very respectful. I mean, think about even trash on the side of the road. When I was going over to a client's today to do some work on site, and I saw a bag of trash on the road that had broken open and there was trash strewn everywhere. The wind was blowing it down the road. And I thought to myself, everybody drives by and nobody cares. Nobody's going to stop and pick up that trash. And in your home, if you spill a glass of milk on the floor, what do? Do you leave it? Do you walk by it and leave it and figure, somebody else will pick it up. The city will pick it up. The county will clean it like a bag of trash on the side of the road. No, of course not. That milk will sour. It'll get sticky. It'll attract bugs. You clean it up. You get some paper towel. You wipe it up. You wash the floor, the table, wherever you spill that milk. That's your home. Well, the earth is our home, humans' home. And how do we treat it? We throw trash out the window. We let it, nobody cares. We dump waste in our oceans. There's islands of trash floating around in the Pacific Ocean and elsewhere. It's just crazy. I got to think these alien beings look down on us and think, oh my God, they are trashing their home. And I'll bet you they don't do that on their world. I bet money they don't do that on their world. So, that's one of the things I try to espouse on this channel is respect. Respect for nature, respect for one another, civility. We have to have that. We have to be taking care of each other. This is our home. And one of the things that Ryan theorizes in his 5 stages of alien contact and post-disclosure world is that once disclosure happens, there's going to be the governments of the world will come together and everybody will start working together. And I agree with that. I agree with that part of it. It's going to take something major. I mean, President Reagan used to say that in his United Nations address. If there's anything that's going to bring us together, it's going to be the influence of an outside entity making us all look up and stop looking in our little tiny encapsulated bubble all about our phones and all about how we look and what's the latest iPhone that we're going to buy and all that stuff. It's crazy. We've got to start looking out for one another. And I know you're out there and you're thinking, this guy's naive. Well, I'm not naive. I mean, I know what the real world is like, but we've got to change at some point. We've got to change. We can't keep going down this road. We're ruining our earth. We're killing each other. I mean, Ryan, again, over at Post-Disclosure World, UFO Jesus, he says, we're killing each other all the time. There's wars over fanaticism. There's wars over religion. There's wars over, territories. I mean, it's crazy. Think about that. Here's something to think about. We go to the moon. We don't own the moon. Nobody owns the moon. But we're going to go up there and we're going to stick a flag on it. And it's going to say, that China owns part of it and Russia owns part of it. And there's going to be flags all over the moon. But how can you own the moon? And in that same vein, how can anybody own anything in this world? I mean, we have these invisible boundaries. There's really nobody that can own anything. The earth is the earth, We're just living on it like a flea lives on a dog, So, I don't know. Those are some of my thoughts today, and I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but I definitely wanted to get out there ahead of Ryan's video and give him some love because he's a good guy and I like his theories, but I think that the people can put it in their hands and they can start meeting aliens. They can start asking these aliens to come down and giving them permission. After all, why does the government have to give them permission to come and visit or to come down? Yes, that may be the old way to do it, the old protocols, that you have to have this pomp and circumstance and they have to come down. But I think that's bullshit because what government's been doing to this point? They've been using the UFO technology and exploiting it for defensive measures, for weapons of mass destruction. It's crazy. Let the people invite the aliens down. Let's make friends. Let's gain their trust. And fuck the government. They can come down. The government can come down and figure out how they're going to disclose after the fact. Okay? Pardon my French. I don't usually swear like that, but that kind of stuff irritates me. So I'll try to edit that out. At any rate, that's what I have to say for tonight. Let me know what you think. I'd really like to know what you think. Eyebrow itches there. Anyways, let me know what you think. Thumbs up or thumbs down. It doesn't really matter. I'm just doing it for fun. So give me your best opinion. I'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, love your animals. Be civil to one another. Be kind to one another. And keep looking up too, all right? Artzydude out for now.